Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. The Giants lost to the Rockies today 8-1. Alex Wood and Jakob Junis, it was just very concerning performances from the two of them. They each gave up 4 runs in less than 3 innings. And the whole thing with Wood is when you sign a guy to a 2-year, $25 million deal, you just can't afford to have him pitch poorly in both of those years. And 2022 was just, overall, it was not good at all for him. He actually re-signed the previous offseason as a free agent. He was excellent with the Giants in 2021 and had this really notable hot streak where I think they didn't lose a single start of his in I don't know how many games, but 2022, he just did not repeat that good performance. In 2023, they need him to improve in 2023. I don't know how I can really say this any stronger. And Jakob Junis, too, the least we can say about him is that he kind of made a bid for being a good pitcher, if you can say that, in 2022. And when he was signed, too, he wasn't signed as a full-time starter. I think he was meant to be a swingman, and he entered the 2022 spring training in rotation competition. And I believe he opened the season on the injured list when he did come in. He was used mostly as a starter, pitched pretty well. In today's performance against the Rockies, if it were a regular season game, then we might say, oh, he was at Coors Field, it did something to his slider, but you can't say that about a spring training game played at the spring training ballpark. So both these pitchers, we'll just hope it was a bad day for them that won't keep being repeated, but again, just kind of a concerning performance for both of these guys who should have the potential to be pretty good pitchers for the Giants. Tyler Rogers also pitched a scoreless inning. With him, the 2022 season, it was pretty good as far as ERA goes. 2021 season was excellent for him, and 2020 maybe kind of mediocre, and I'd say he was really good in about the month that he had of action in 2019. Really, the thing with Rogers, I'm not sure what exactly to say about this because ERA for relievers is kind of a different thing. I think that even on a fixed ERA value, there's just a wider range of skill that can't be measured that way as easily as it can with a starting pitcher. With one ERA value, there can still be at least a wider range of skill for a relief pitcher. And Rogers' 2022 season, all you can really say about it is there are good and bad things. I do think that he blew some kind of significant close late inning games. I don't want to exaggerate here. It could be that I just am thinking of games that kind of significantly got away from the Giants. I think he could be better in 2023. I'm not saying at all that he isn't solid. And it's difficult to comment on a guy that has the kind of delivery he has because he doesn't throw hard. He uses the submarine motion, releases the ball below his knee. So it's really difficult to evaluate that, to say what's going on there. But I'm sure that kind of delivery, it has its unique challenges and unique ways of being effective as well. So thing with Rogers, I think it's going to be a particular thing for him that the coaches are going to have to address. Because he can be great, he can be excellent, all-star level, but we know relievers don't get selected to all-star games anymore, and that's a different discussion, but that's the level he is, really, when he is pitching well. So the submarine delivery is just going to have its unique things that kind of has to happen, like unique adjustments, with it. And I'm not sure exactly what he would feel that his strengths and weaknesses are there, but whatever's going on there, I think he and his pitching coach should pay really special attention to it. And the Giants would have a lot to gain from just getting that delivery to the point where he's going to be at his best for them in 2023. Because not only is Rogers at his best, not only is Rogers a great pitcher at his best, but he has endurance. That his delivery doesn't put nearly as much strain on his arm as a normal delivery does, so he could appear in a lot of games for the Giants. That's just another reason why particular attention, I believe, should be paid to Rodgers, because if he's pitching well, particularly if he's pitching exceptionally well, he can just do a whole ton for the Giants, because he can appear in a whole ton of games for them. That can make a lot of difference if you think about it and if you add it up. Anyway, the only run that the Giants scored of the game was on a Luis Matos solo home run. And he is, I really don't know where he's going to be as a prospect. I think he is seen as pretty high on the Giants list, but probably unlikely to crack the opening day roster. It's going to get competitive, though, for prospects, like when there is a chance to really squeeze in there on the depth chart and kind of get noticed, get your performance noticed. Probably will be quite a bit of competition, but it was good to see his power today. Now, as just some last notes here, I probably wouldn't put too much stock right now into the batting averages, the ERAs. That can really fluctuate a lot more than you might think. So there are batting averages that are high, really high. You know, Blake Sabol, Casey Schmidt, there are batting averages that are really low, like Lamont Wade Jr., even David Villar, although he had a hit today as well as a home run yesterday, I think it was, or I already forget, sorry about that. But yeah, batting averages are high, they're low, it's the same thing with ERAs, and I still wouldn't be putting really too much stock into that right now, although there are some things we can see about just like a player's consistency, whether he's kind of doing something from game to game, and that still does give us legitimate notice, I think, of the prospect, and we can just look at certain things, that as well as players' power, and we're inferring what we can, but I wouldn't go too far with it right now. And just the team's record too, it's not good. It's really not a good spring training record, and sometimes that just doesn't tell you what a team has going into the season. But like I mentioned, the thing that'd be concerning is like Alex Wood, Jakob Junis. If this is how they're going to perform in their starts, I'm not saying it is, but I mean there are some things they're going to have to work on in spring training so they can be effective for the Giants. So I still don't think that the Giants' kind of failure to win games is really predictive, or that it shows a whole ton about what the team's going to be this year. As long as everybody develops and everybody works on what they need to work on, we really get what we expect out of the players that just need to perform for the Giants. So I'd say that's all for today. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please keep the questions and comments coming. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.